and welcome to the In Focus series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today's session is about the rising influence of yuan, which is Chinese currency, and internationalization of rupee, and why there are so much hurdle in front of internationalization of rupee. And this session is important for your GS3 perspective. As you already know that Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi recently visited the Moscow, and after Russia-Ukraine war, he visited for the first time. There were few trade talks and also they had issued joint statement on bilateral ties between these two countries. So moving towards the points of focus. First of all, we are going to discuss the news, then we are going to discuss what is the widening trade gap with Russia benefiting the yuan, how can India internationalize the rupee, why are exports to Russia challenging, how are Russia and India planning to boost trade, and after that we are going to discuss practice question for prelims. Before that, you have to like, share and subscribe to the Drishti IAS channel. Moving towards the news part. So what had happened that I had already told you that recently Prime Minister Narendra Modi had visited the Moscow for the first time after Russia-Ukraine war. And what is the economic impact of Russia-Ukraine war on India? If you'll see that, then what we have seen that the Russia continued to export its material to India, whereas the India fails to import its material during the Russia-Ukraine war. As a result, what we have seen that our export tendency has decreased, but export tendency has increased, but import tendency has decreased. So this has been a situation which is a worrisome for the country and also for the rupee also. And recently what we had seen that due to the Russia-China good relationship, and what we have seen that when we'll compare to the China and Russia trade in comparison to Russia, that Russia and China continue to do good trade, especially in this Russia-Ukraine war also. But if we'll talk about the India's trade situation, it had declined. So this is a matter of worry also, because Russia is asking Indians that you should pay in Chinese currency, which is yuan. And this is a very serious situation for a country. So what we have seen that if you'll see that Russia has rapidly extended to become India's top oil supplier, and Indian export to Russia have struggled, resulting to $57 billion trade deficit. So here what I was telling you, we are studying into the number form or numerical form that India has to face the trade deficit of $57 billion trade and bilateral trade worth of $66 billion in financial year 2024. So this was the loss India has to incur because of this kind of the situation. And recently, when Prime Minister visited the Moscow, they had decided that they will try to trade with the Moscow, which is the Russia, to $100 billion by 2030. So they had set the target. We'll see that how this target will be achieved. So this is the news we are going to cover up in today's session. Now we coming to the why is the widening trade gap with Russia benefiting the yuan? As I have already mentioned that during the Russia-Ukraine war, the trade with India and Russia had declined, especially India in the trade deficit, and I had also shown you the data. But when it come to China, the China trade had flourished throughout these years, and this makes a very problematic situation for a country, because India also wants that rupees should be internationalized and they want to avoid the US dollars, but they don't want to promote the yuan currency in front of the US dollar. So this is a very dilemmatic situation for a country. So unlike India, China has seized the export opportunity emerging in Russia, and Chinese export to Russia have actually grown faster than imports, and they had increased their exports, what you can say 47%, and imports just 13%. So when we'll compare these two things, so they had increased their exports, which is a very good for an economy, and they had decreased their, and they just 13%. So there is a huge difference between the exports and imports when we talk about the Russia-China trade. So that's why this is a very problematic. Now we come to that, how can India internationalize the rupee? So if you want to internationalize any currency, be it rupee or be it any currency, first we need to promote trade into that kind of the currency. And currently what we have seen that US dollars are the topmost currency, which has been widely used for the global export and for the global trade. And if we'll talk about the data, so the data is around 88% of the people, around the 88% of the global forex are in the US dollars. And when we'll talk about the India, it is just 1.6%, and which did not qualify to become an international rupee, because for that you need at least 4%. So that's why this is the thing. So if you want to internationalize your currency, at least you have to, the turnover should be the 4%. So India's efforts is into this direction, that they have to decrease their trade exchange into the other currencies, and they have to promote the rupee, but it only comes with the international trades, and they will promote their own currency. So this is the thing. Now we come to the next one, which is about the why are exports to Russia challenging. So we have several private banks in the country, and private banks are so much reluctant towards the Russian thing, because they are very afraid about the Western sanctions, and there are so many business are in the Western sanctions. So they are not openly trading and doing any kind of investment in Russia. So because of that also, this particular problem has been arisen. And recently what we have seen, that there was a joint statement by both the countries that how to trade, and RBI had also issued things related to that. But what the private banks are telling, that they lacked SOP, and because of that also they are getting so much of the problem. So this can be also one of the things, that due to Western sanctions, the private banks are reluctant to invest into these kind of the things. Now we come to the another one, which is about the how are Russia and India planning to boost trade. So during Prime Minister Narendra Modi visit, what we have seen, that both countries had decided to eliminate the non-tariff and tariff barriers, and they had also decided to trade and initiate a negotiation with the Russia-led Eurasian Economic Union, and in short it is known as EEU, which could ease the flow of Indian products into the EU. So if we'll have a good relationship with Russia, so there are high chances that Indian products will have a better, what you can say, approach and better facility and better exposure to this EU. And what is the EU? So EU consists of 5 members: Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Armenia, which represents together $5 trillion economy. And according to the joint statement, India and Russia agreed to cooperate in manufacturing sector, metallurgy, chemicals, transport, engineering. So they will continue to contribute into such kind of the area. So these are the ways they had issued a joint statement, and India is also trying to promote its trade in international rupee, and also about these kind of things that they are, because of so many trade deficit of this war, and currency was also one of the reason because of the trade deficit, because India is heavily dependent on the US dollars. And currently what we are seeing, that due to sanctions and so many things, Russia is discouraging the US dollars, and they are not accepting the payment in US dollars. So that also become a bone of contention. And what you can see between China and India, because of the broader kind of situation, India can't be much comfortable with the Chinese currency. So they had to find out, either they had to internationalize the rupee, or they had to accept the US dollar, trade in US dollars. So it's up to the India, and I think internationalization of the rupees would be the best solution for an economy. In such way, the rupee will be also promoted, and that will have a better impact on Indian economy, and the rupee will get the world exposure, and which will connect India with the other world, and so many people will invest in the country. So that is also one of the thing. Now we come to the question part. The question is related to what economic representation does the Eurasian Economic Union hold? And we had already discussed this thing: $1 trillion economy, $2 trillion economy, $5 trillion economy, $10 trillion economy. So this is very easy one. You have to answer this into the comment section, and you have to also find out that what are the challenges ahead we have in front of internationalization of the rupee. Why rupees turnover is just 1.6%, though India had a good export and import relation with various countries and it is connected to the global world, but Indian rupee still cannot be a part of international rupee or international currency. And so the government of India and the current financial authorities, economic authorities of this country must think into this direction, that how rupee should be promoted and how it should come to the international arena. So that's it for today's session. I hope you like this session. If you have any queries to this session, kindly ask in the comment section. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.